and this is the next video on the QR. The back seals come, so I'm going to be putting that into there, then putting this, I forgot the name of it, final drive cog, goes on that way with the thinner side facing outwards, but I'll be doing all that soon. But if you remember on one of the videos when I was draining the oil, there was aluminium coming out. I've checked everywhere for it, and then when I've looked, that's where it's been coming from. It's meant to be a black rubber thing on there. They don't sell them no more. I've checked everywhere, I cannot get them. So if the bike's to just be kept as a ornament, man cave, whatever, little bike, that they're gonna have to need a black thing on there. Then the frames come, which I've already said, I think, in the last video. So I'm going to take all this off. It's a good chance all the top yokes and bottom yokes are bent, or the steering stem's bent, because the fork legs were to come out. One was straight, one's bent, which is, I haven't put them back together yet. Which one's bent? That one there, look. You can see the bend about there. But this is flat, but they were hard to come out. If them top and bottom yokes weren't bent, it would just slide it out. So anyway, we're gonna get this frame over there next to this one, take everything off this and put it onto that one. Have a check of this, see, like, look, they're not there on the, they're not there under the handlebars, unless that's just slack. I think I slackened that to take some off actually. So the handlebars is probably alright, but we'll get that off. I've just got to nip out and I'll come back and do it. There's that thing on that frame, and there it is on this frame. I'm certain, I've never worked on one of these before, I'm certain that goes up to there, because oil goes into there, into the frame. I'll have to have a read of this, see what, I know this will probably just go to the oil pump, but I'll have to have a look at it all anyway, because it's starting to become a complicated little bike. But like I say, I'll nip out, come back, and we'll get all that onto there. I've still got to buy a new front mudguard as well. So I'll put that seal in, goes in that way, and that way like that, it's flush with that casing. There's that end. So it goes in that way, so we'll get that in. And this is another fault on it. And somebody's welded that on, and there was problems with the kickstart when I got it. Like, this casing's broke, so I had that fixed. It's got that black, it's like a rubber stuff. I don't know if the spring fits properly with that black rubber stuff on or not, but it's all the way down there. So it's going to be a clot on painting it as well. So that's the sealing now. It's all lubed in there. Got this now with the circular one, just slide that through. I've got the nut somewhere, just put the nut on the other side. Like I said before, when you put this on, you see the lip there, your little finger is, you can see it there, goes on that way with the smaller bit facing towards you, and there's no markings, notches or anything to line up with this and this, so just slot straight on. Put a lube up actually, just remove all these. I've got that big spacer, that goes on as well. Just move that, just to make sure that doesn't drop off. I'll put a bit of tape over there maybe. And I've just pushed that casing on after I put that big cog on the back. just to make sure it all fits, and it does. So we'll take that case back off. We'll put that little fresh washer back on as well. Just goes on there. That's it all turning alright as well. How on this, it's got the thinner bit on the top and the fatter bit on the back. If this was on the other way around, this cog would be hitting the chain. That's why on the back bit it's about that fat, and on this front it's tiny, there's nothing there, there's no lip on it hardly. So that's the right way to put that on. Now I've already started swapping some parts over. That, the subframe bolt, the black rubber, got this, I think that's the seat bolt. Got all this to take off here, but that's what I was going to show. There's the 3 mudguard bolts, they're the back two, and the small on the front one. Look, the front one here is bigger than them two, so I'll put that one back in there, and the 2 smaller ones back in there. Then we'll get that top yoke bolt off and slide all this out. And that's the handlebars off. They're all bent. So when we need handlebars, start taking this off now. See if the steering stem's alright, and the bearings in the bottom and the top. I think it's just ball bearings in the top, maybe a roller bearing, taper roller bearing in the bottom, but we'll get this off anyway and have a look. So that's the handlebars off. The yokes are out. They're the bearings, they're not in a cage. Them bearings, they are still in this frame, which I'll take out and put new grease on. But there's this 2-stroke thing. It's blocked on this one, and in the manual it doesn't tell you nothing about this, but on this one goes all the way down. So I don't, like I say, I don't know if the oil goes in the frame and it fills in down here. Maybe it, I don't know. That's what I'm stuck on. But the top yokes and bottom yokes don't seem bent. The bolts I just put in before what I showed. But this is what I was gonna do, man, before the next bit. You've got these, the CDI just pops off that little clip there, that rubber clip. But we've got this wire here, the green end, I don't know what colour it is, but I'll answer it. As long as we just see that green wire, and then we've got that black and yellow one going to that part. Just so I remember which way the wires go. And with that frame being painted, I'm going to scrape the paint off so you get a good earth on the coil, because if I don't scrape the paint off it'll not spark, there'll be no earth. So we'll get these off, put them on there, and then start putting everything else on. So that's the coil cleaned up. I've just took the paint off there down to the bare metal, and I've screwed them 2 screws through just to get rid of the red paint and the threads. The CDI's in the kitchen clean, so now I'm going to put the coil back on, and one of those wires I showed just before fits onto there. I thought it fit onto there. I'm going to give that a rub as well, because there's a bit of rust on there. That side's alright. So I'm going to be fitting the coil, fit the CDI, fitting the top yokes. The handlebars will still go on even if they're bent, because when it come they were on, they were bent, but it still turned and everything, so they'll go on. So I'll put them on for the time being, but I'll build it up. Anyway, we'll get all them bits on anyway, instead of just talking. So that's the coil on. I'm just going to go and get the CDI now. Put the CDI on there. That black rubber. And then get the top yokes on. That's the CDI on, cleaned up. These are the 2 wires that come off. this green one goes onto there, and this one here fits onto there. I'll fit that other side onto there. That's the CDI in the coil on now. If you look there, you can see a bend in the wire there. And that's where this part of the frame's been pushed back and bent this and pushed this onto this part of the coil. So I've just bent this up a touch, just so the wire's missing the end of the coil. Anyway, we'll get the top yokes on now, and that means we can fit the handlebars because all the cables are still rigged up. So we'll grease in there, get the bearings in, and grease in the top, get the bearings in, get this on. That's the bottom yoke on. Now I'm just going to grease in there and get the bearings because they're still in the top of that one. Get the bearings in, then get the top yoke on, and then nut and bolt. Right, the carrier first, that bit, then it's that, then that, then that, then that. So we'll do that now. So that's the bearings in. Just going to put this on next. Just cleaned the bolt and that bolt. I'll clean them in a minute, but we'll get this on now. That's that fitted. Be a little bit greasy on the outside, but that's not. When get this on. That's that on now. It's just on hand tight till I get the other bits on, and I can tap this round. I don't want to tighten up too tight because the yokes won't move. So like I say, it's just hand tight, but it's on. None of the bearings can drop out now. That's the top bolt on now, and the yokes both turning freely. I still don't know if they bend, but they didn't look it. Like lining that up with that up, you can't really do it till the forks are on, but I'll only know when the forks are done. But anyway, they look alright, they turn alright. So next we'll get the handlebars on. Even though they're bent, they'll still go on because they've got the cables on and everything. So we'll get them on. So that's the handlebars on now. I haven't tightened them because they can lift up and down. I don't know if you can see, but you've got to lift them up and down to get that, to get to one of the top of the forks. Anyway, there's the handlebars on. We've got the throttle cable with the splitter box with the oil pump cable. We've got the back brake cable. Look at that brake. Got the throttle cable as I've just showed. Rigged up there. Rigged up there. But anyway, that's so far for now. Next, I'll be putting the tyres on. I've already showed that engine is done at the back now. That side where I'm having problems with the repair. I think I've showed it at the beginning of this video. So next, I'll be doing the carb. I'm going to have to buy a new fork leg as that one's bent, as I showed at the beginning of the video. Get the forks on, the wheels on. That other side of the engine, the kickstart side, I might have to buy a new one, to be honest. And that's everything really. I've got everything. The carb's upstairs, but the carb cleaning kit's over there, so that's, the carb will be done, but that's not important yet till I get the frame built up. That's all I think of for now. I'll just try to keep the video short. Anyway, thanks for watching. Shouldn't be long till there's another video, because it's nearly done now. If this case in here doesn't have this on, this repair, and this black repair, and it comes on there, so it's going to affect painting it. I don't know what to do. But anyway, that's it up for now anyway. Thanks for watching.